Trevor, one thing I've been meaning to push Simon on, Chelsea, you do not consider Chelsea something of a Fabergé egg club like you consider Manchester City and PSG.
Never called Man City a Fabergé egg, called PSG.
PSG, okay.
But I have been very critical, before you go down this little ghastly narrative, I've been very critical of Chelsea. When they landed in 2003, 2004, it was directly at the time I got promoted to the Premier League. So the fact that Roman Abramovich was spraying money around, like some of the sensational headlines you like to spray around, was deeply disconcerting for me. So I was incredibly critical of Chelsea over the passage of time.
But not in the Fabergé egg category like PSG. Why? Because they've acquired much of their success in the same way.
Do you know what Fabergé egg means in the context I'm using it? Because I nicked it off Danny Kelly.
Oh, go on, enlighten us.
Well, it looks great on the outside, but it has no heart on the inside, has no substance on the inside.
Well, which I think put to bed, hasn't it, last night?
Well, yes and no, because PSG, for me, winning Ligue 1, well, wow, great, fantastic. But winning the Champions League, which they've bought and paid for and yet to win, to my mind, embodies their spirit when it comes upon the hour. Winning semi-finals...
So what about Real Madrid then, when they bought all the Galacticos and they won the Champions League 3 times on the spin?
Well, there's a different dynamic about
there you go. Good point,
Real Madrid.
As
there's a different
Why?
Because
Real Madrid,
no, because they're established, they've got a better livery, they've got a better dynamic, they're funded in a certain way. But there's also,
they're going longer, so they're allowed to do that.
What do you mean they've got a better livery? What a nicer badge.
Well, they've been going longer, haven't they? Better livery. Follow the train of thought, Jimbo.
Change that status quo. It shouldn't be allowed.
But also, whilst we're having this moment to share, I was very critical of Real Madrid about their old rubbish when they repositioned themselves by selling the wasteland next to their stadium to be able to comply with financial fair play to get in the Champions League. So I've had a swing at all of them before you start trying to peddle me into the corner that Luke wants me in.
Well, I noticed you had a swing at Ligue 1 there as well, because I do suspect you're very much not a fan of Ligue 1. And last night, JAMIE CARRAGHER was broadcasting. He was on CBS, and he was talking about Ligue 1 and the fact that, in his view, Neymar and Mbappe of PSG should be nowhere near Ligue 1.
If PSG win the Champions League this year, it'll be a toss-up between him and Mbappe who'll win the Ballon d'Or. I'm sure it will be. I don't like to see him there. I don't think players of the quality of Mbappe and Neymar should be playing for Paris Saint-Germain. If I upset Paris Saint-Germain fans, they shouldn't be playing in the French league. It's a poor league, it's an average league, and it's just about these Champions League nights, basically. We're talking about the French league. The Champions League, whatever the league he plays in, he'll be in the Champions League, whether it was Barcelona in England, France, doesn't matter, Italy. But playing week in, week out in France, players of that quality shouldn't be playing in that league. It's not good enough.
So, Simon, you listened to that there, you gave the thumbs up to JAMIE, but Trevor, you're not having that argument.
No, 100% not. Listen, when you look at Mbappe, he's won the under-19s Euros with France. He's won the World Cup with France. He's French. He's played for Monaco. He's got to move to the biggest club in France, PSG. He wants to win the Champions League with them. Who's JAMIE CARRAGHER to say that he shouldn't be playing in Liga? Of course he should. And once he's achieved that, maybe he'll go and experience a different league. La Liga, the Premier League, Bundesliga. Who knows? But I can't agree with that.
How'd that work out for Lionel Messi then? How did he patronise his career in Argentina? Or did he just go and play for the biggest club at the time in world football, where his standards and the standard of football was significantly higher?
We know when he was 13.
We know that Liga doesn't have the same competitive tension as the bigger leagues. So what JAMIE CARRAGHER is saying, in fairness to JAMIE, is if we want to benchmark this guy, and he wants to benchmark himself against the world's best. Well, not week in, week out in Ligue 1 is not. Yes, he is when they're in the Champions League, but how many games is that, Trev? 13.
And
they play 38 games a season.
Football for France and winning the World Cup as an 18-year-old.
But we're talking about domestic football, right? And he can
play. I'm just talking about him and his journey.
But he can. But both of you are making an assumption that you understand the workings of the boy's mind or his career path, right?
I'm just looking at facts.
JAMIE's got one. Yeah, you're looking at facts based upon the fact he's gone to play for PSG. If PSG didn't have a big bag of money that could afford to pay him, do you think he'd be at PSG under the narrative of what you're advancing?
Why would he go and play in Madrid, or why would he go?
Because
and play
he'd get
Barcelona?
a big bag of money.
Well, what about Paris? It's one of the best cities in the world. But you've got to bring the whole package into it.
But you've missed my point. So is Barcelona, one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Exactly.
Right? But we're talking about money, Trev, as well. By the same token, if PSG didn't have this inordinate amount of money, they wouldn't be able to have this talent because they haven't had it before. All the best players haven't gone to play for St Etienne and gone to play for the French teams as a matter of course, have they? They've gone to where the money is and where the big clubs are.
All this money isn't helping PSG romp it in Ligue 1 because your friend of mine, Jose France Lille, are leading the way.
This season, but it hasn't finished its race yet, and they've pretty much won the Ligue 1 year in, year out for how many years?
Well, the 3 point.
How many years?
Lille are 3 points ahead.
How many years have they won it previously?
Lille have lost 3 games. Paris Saint-Germain have lost 8.
But as a matter of course, how many years have PSG won Ligue 1?
They've won the league a lot. What I'm saying is you cannot deny the boy who wants to do it in the capital of France.
And he's been given
it PSG.
But if the
and
incentive,
once he's done it there, I think then he will move away.
Is there, Trev, but it ticks all the boxes. You're right. He's French, playing for the biggest French side. But what really seals the deal is they can afford to have him. If they couldn't afford to have him, do you really think his French patronage would lead him to Paris Saint-Germain?
Well, if you look at
him there,
well, if you look at his stats,
pay him to be there.
He's one of. Well, he's been at PSG. When
won the
you
Champions League, has he? He's won Ligue 1
and the World Cup and the under-19.
Yeah, but he could have won the World
Cup
by playing in Peru.
When he was at Monaco, he had 53 games. That's all. 53 games.
None of the price
Barcelona and all the big clubs are not going to go to a player who's played 53 games at Monaco. That's why he's gone to PSG, because they recognise their talent in their own country.
Nice
it's like
one,
a player
Trevor.
going to Celtic or Rangers. Then, if they prove themselves at a big club in that country, they might get moved down to the English Premier League. That's what I'm saying. It's part of his journey.
I think he's got a point there. I must admit, I think he's got a
Well,
point
you
there.
would.
No. I'm just
you haven't
thinking.
got one.
I wouldn't jump on the Jamie Carragher bandwagon on the Neymar and Mbappe thing that they shouldn't be playing in Ligue 1. And at the moment, Lille are showing PSG a clean.
But it runs an
pair of
argument, doesn't
heels.
it? We run this argument consistently about the best players in the world playing in the Premier League because we like to run that argument. We talk about Lionel Messi not being able to play away at Stoke on a Tuesday evening, which was the analogy that was regularly used. But there is an argument to be said that Ligue 1, as a domestic league, is nowhere near the power of Bundesliga, nowhere near the power of La Liga, not even Serie A, and certainly not the Premier League. So Jamie Carragher's coming from the point of view of, say, why wouldn't he play for the biggest, most powerful clubs in the biggest, most powerful leagues?
My answer to that is, they're not going to buy him from Monaco when he's played 53 games.
And that's a stat.
But that's your perception.
Know.
That's subjective.
And actually, for the players' development, I would say using PSG, not using the PSG.
I think there could be a fair bit of needle in here today. I just
Stepping
get that
stone, but
impression.
also
because you'll do stuff
winning
to smooth
things
that
in
over, won't you?
France.
No, it's good. It's good. I'll hold the jackets coming up to half 10.